Hey guys, Reiner. Today we'll be unboxing and reviewing the first One Piece box set. And this comes with East Blue and Barkworks. And it's volumes 1 to 23. So we got Usopp, Nami, Luffy, and Zoro. And then we got Luffy and the Merry-Go and some of the crew. And then the back we got an awesome color spread with that guy in the background, and then Luffy with some neat Usopp, Zoro, Sanji, and Nami. And then we got Luffy. And that looks awesome. Alright, so now on to the manga. So we got volume 1. When we first meet Luffy as a little boy, and he stabs his face and he gets a scar underneath his eye, trying to show that he was tough. And he eats the devil fruit and he gets the rubber powers. And Shanks is obviously upset and he can't swim in ever again. And these pirates show up and they kidnap Luffy. And Shanks saves him, and Shanks loses his arm. And yeah, they're about to leave, and Shanks gives his hat, and Luffy's just like, I'll become king of the pirates. And 10 years later they got Luffy there, beating that guy that got Shanks' arm. And I love the art, it's so 3D. Pistol, jet pistol. So that's volume 1. And volume 2, this is where we meet Nami. And she's after the pirate's treasure. This is where we meet Buggy, and his body can like come apart, and Nami gives Luffy to Buggy, and then Zoro comes and saves them, which is cool. And there's an awesome moment where Luffy defeats one of Buggy's men that's trying to beat up this poor dog. And let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so he's after the dog, and Luffy just like hits him dead on. Gavel like punches the crap out of him. Right there, there it is. That's why he came. Help me! Smack. Next we got is volume 3. That's an awesome cover. Next we got volume 4, and this is where we first meet Usopp. We got the butler and his men, and we got Luffy there. And Usopp is known as town liar. Nobody believes him. And the butler goes after Kaya's fortune. And yeah, they have to fight them. And there's like a bunch of the bad guys there. And yeah, definitely an interesting art for sure. And this is where we first get the Merry-Go. So that's cool. First time we're getting their ship. So we got volume 5, awesome cover. We got Luffy eating some ice cream. And we got volume 6, and they're all wearing black. And then we got volume 7, and this is the Bear Tea arc. And this is where we first meet Sanji, the cook. And this is the first time we meet the chef, and his backstory with Sanji is definitely emotional for sure. He loses his leg, and yeah, Don Krieg shows up and they have to fight them, and there's like so much fighting going on. And Mihawk shows up and he fights Zoro, and he takes out Zoro. So we got Don Krieg, Luffy, and Luffy's fighting Don Krieg, and he beats him, and all those pirates sail away. And yeah, that's the end of that little arc. Next arc is the Arlong Park arc with Nami's backstory, where she loses her mother and Arlong kills her. And she's working for Arlong to get a bunch of money so that way they can buy off the Arlong pirates and have them leave. Oh, that's cool. So he ends up shooting her, unfortunately. So yeah, but the Arlong Park arc was cool. There was like fighting underwater, fighting these fishermen. Arlong is like a really great villain. And Zoro vs. Hachi, that was a cool fight. And Sanji and all them are fighting and trying to fight these fishermen. And Usopp beats up a guy, and he ends up taking him out, luckily. And we got volume 11, and this is the end of Arlong Park arc. And Luffy just destroys this place, and he beats up Arlong in the process. Kaboosh! Then we got volume 12, and this is the Rogue Town little arc. And this is where you meet Smoker, and that's cool. They're all running, there's like a bunch of treasure. And Luffy is like gonna be executed, but he's smiling about it. And that's not good. And they meet Laboon, and Laboon and him fight, and he does that to Laboon. It's really funny. And he gives Laboon a goal of fighting Luffy once he gets back from his trip. So we got volume 13, and this is the very first volume of Barrack Works. We got the Barrack Works agents, Vivi disguised, and Luffy all blown up. Let's check it out. We'll do it for 1,000,000 berries to protect Vivi. That's funny. Of course Nami would say that. And we got volume 14, and this is where we get to the dinosaur island with the giants. We got Vivi and Karoo, Luffy, Mr. 3, and that girl who has the paint powers. And these giants like have been fighting for hundreds of years, and they haven't gone back home in a long time. Mr. 3 shows up, and he uses his wax powers and takes out the crew, and Luffy has to fight him. And yeah, definitely an interesting little arc. Then we got 15 with the giants. We got Usopp, and then we got Luffy and that guy. And then we got volume 16, and we got the first time we're meeting Chopper, and we got Luffy and the Doctor. And that was an emotional backstory. And yeah, people were like shooting at Chopper, and he lost the Doctor. The Doctor dies from drinking an explosive, and he was already sick. So, and then there was like Wapol the king that kind of took over the whole place, and then abandoned the place, and he left, and then he came back. And Wapol likes to eat houses, boats, like whatever, you name it. So we got volume 17, and we got Luffy, Wapol, and his men, and Sanji. And let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, we got an emotional moment with Chopper and the cherry blossoms. Go on, you foolish boy. And he's crying. Oh, poor Chopper. So they leave, and they're heading for this desert island, and they meet Ace, which is Luffy's brother. We got Vivi, Nami, the camel. It's really funny how Ace and Luffy run into each other, and Smoker's there, and he starts chasing them. It's really funny. So we got volume 19, and we got the King, the Rebels, and Luffy there, and Usopp. And Crocodile pretends to be a hero even though he's a bad guy, and he's the head guy of all the Barrack Works agents. And yeah, they set this fake giant ship attacking. It's a whole setup to make the rebels fight, and these Barrack Works agents are doing not good things, for sure. Next we got is volume 20, and it's Everybody Faced Everybody. They're trying to create this war, cause all this chaos, all in Crocodile's plan. So we got volume 21, we got the Barrack Works agents and Crocodile. And Crocodile is definitely an awesome villain. Luffy tries to beat him multiple times, and he gets beat every time, until the last fight with him. And then we got Zoro versus Mr. One Year, Steel versus Sword. That was an awesome fight. Definitely my favorite fight with Zoro. And he beats him. Next we got is volume 22. And we got the Straw Hat crew. We got Vivi and Karoo. And Vivi's definitely a worthy Straw Hat for sure. If she became a Straw Hat, it would make perfect sense. And yeah, the finale was so epic. Luffy beating Crocodile. And this is an awesome cover. For sure. and yeah, he beats him, and he's like miles high in the sky, and then Vivi stops everyone from fighting, and the king comes to his senses, and yeah, and then they try and leave, and there's like Marines chasing them, and it's super emotional, and here we go. So we got all of them raising their arms, and then Vivi's like crying, and that was an awesome moment for sure. So next we have is One Piece Romance Dawn, and this is the very first One Piece chapter, and Luffy looks a little bit different, and Nami looks different too. She's like a completely different character. It's its own unique character. It kind of looks like Nami, and yeah, definitely an awesome read for sure. Next we got is the poster, and we got the whole Straw Hat crew, the Merry Go, and it just looks like they're going on a fun adventure. So on this side we got some of the crew, and there's like a bunch of money. Luffy's eating ham, Sanji's holding a fish, Zoro has his sword, and Nami's just like has a crown. Usopp's back there jumping up for joy. Definitely an awesome poster. Last but not least, we got this little Luffy figure I got in my very first Lu anime. He has like a helmet, a giant axe, and I believe this is based off one of the movies. And he looks awesome for sure. It's done by Banpresto, which is really affordable figures, but are also really cheap. So, yeah, that is my box set 1 review. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and until next time, peace. I almost forgot, so we have my art. So we got the very first cover of One Piece right there, and I need to finish coloring it. We got Luffy and the Buggy Pirates, and we got Zoro and Luffy on a ship. Then we got the Butler and Luffy, and then we got Usopp and the kids, and Nami, Luffy, and Zoro, and Kaya. Then we got Ace, Nami, Luffy, Zoro, and Vivi. Then we got the Barrack agents with Mr. Crocodile. And then we got the Straw Hat crew with Camel, Vivi, and Karoo. And then lastly we got Vivi and all the Straw Hat crew, all fighting. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and until next time, peace.